Hello and welcome to the Billowing Hilltop podcast. Hello readers, I hope you're well. I have been reminded to remind you to subscribe on your podcast app of choice. We love to hear from you through social media, and we love to hear from you via email at hello@billowinghilltop.com. We stick them on the notice board, we stuff them into Paul's capacious sack, and we read them out from time to time. A bit of a weird episode this, where nothing really happens, but at the same time stuff happens. And I've got no other news or information. So let us push on with episode 186 of the Billowing Hilltop podcast, Shake Tail Feather. Good evening, everybody. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
We are without Lucas again.
On a jet plane.
Everyone knows Chiz-Chun and all of his friends. Anyway, he's off. Don't know what did he say he was doing? Something to do with a conference? Anyway,
yes,
whatever
it's the North Pole's conference. He's chairing it.
That's what it is.
It's the Polar Conference.
Spider Claws.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm here with Dan.
Hello.
I'm here with some of Paul.
Hello.
All of Johnny.
Yes, hello.
And of course, here with us is the Viking that is to everyone's liking.
Oh, very good.
Resist that. Graham.
Good evening.
Olaf Hotperson. Where we left things for the benefit of whoever it is that's been asking for. Is it Andrew or is it Steve? Anyway, we'll recap. I'm very confused as to what happened last time.
We killed
No,
the
having a
demon.
fight
We
with-
called the devil thing. That's basically what we need to
Darl had vanished, and you were left with the remnants of his gang. The Ifrit had the feather, and the Ifrit disappeared, and you chased after the devil demon thing with the trident, and you fried it.
Yeah.
And you returned to visit Tilanthrus, saying, we've done everything. Give us our prize, or whatever. I mean, I can't remember if you actually said that, but whatever. You hit an issue, which is that you didn't actually have the feather of the rock. What's it? So at a certain point, they got cross and disappeared with the belt.
Which means we don't have any
So
negotiation.
you're left standing in this expanse of grassland. The mega fauna are mooing and grazing and herding around you, whatever they are. Giant elk and bison and the like. Little insects buzz through the grassland. Birds tweet. The sun is warm on your face. What do you want to do?
Well, we might as well go and visit where the rock place was anyway, because we haven't been there. Or we go and try and find what's-his-face and the Ifrit, or both at the same time.
Well, I think they'll come to us. I don't think we
Or
can
they
go
come
and
to us,
find them,
or-
can we?
Or what we do is we rest up.
Okay, it's two things. Graham, can you take Dimensional Anchor?
And is
Can
it
you-
even a spell?
It used to be.
No.
Yeah, I'm not sure it is in this edition, though.
In the old days.
The one that prevents people changing planes and
Yeah.
teleporting away, that one.
3.5, 3.75.
So I guess not. I guess
Pathfinder.
the answer is no then.
No, I
don't
don't
think
believe
it
so.
still
I'll
exists.
check into the full list, but
Yeah.
I believe it doesn't exist.
Right.
There might be something that does the same job,
Yeah.
but we're just not familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a thought
Planar
anyway.
binding
Yes.
or something.
Planar binding, that sounds like exactly what it might be. Let's have a look.
Google it, man. Google it.
No. That's basically make celestials and things do what you want.
Yeah.
It's about 9 in the morning on Asmodee the 27th of Fat. You've taken a long rest already today. You took a long rest at midnight. And the fight played out with Darl, fuck it, and his goons pretty much straight after that. Can't take another long rest until midnight tonight. That's the whole sitch. Tonight's beer, by the way, Paul,
Yeah.
is from the Toast Brewery. They're the people who make
Yes,
beer
out of bread.
old bread.
Yes.
Grassroots pale ale. It's pretty good.
Well, I think we
I
should
might, any moment now, have another
go
slice.
and see the rock.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's do
At
it.
least to just confirm that there is
Okay.
only one feather.
Yeah. We need
Okay,
to...
one thing though.
What?
There is a small chance, but a chance nonetheless, that the druids would consider anyone who turns up with the feather to have completed all the tasks.
They didn't take the head, I don't think.
Don't
Did
think
they,
they
Mike?
needed the head. Don't think they needed
They
the
didn't
head.
take the head, no. The head that you produced as proof of the death of the Thornveld Nightmare is still in your possession.
I don't think they needed the head.
They didn't, but it's proof that we killed it. But whether that makes any difference or not, I don't know. But you're right. Well, how?
You got the sense that, well, certainly, which one was it? One with the high-pitched voice. Siren Lay looked like they were fucked off. They looked like they were cross about having their chain pulled. Is that the phrase? Leg pulled, time wasted. Anyway, whatever it is.
Their time was being wasted because they're obviously so busy.
Yeah.
Hanging around
what
at
do
the
they
edge
do?
of a forest.
Yeah.
Maybe they can only
good
manifest for
breeze.
moments each day.
Right.
Paul. Yeah.
From their busy
You know.
lives.
Okay.
I would have thought that was a really good thing to bring up with them the next time you get to speak to them.
Yeah, might do.
Have a real go at them.
Yeah.
So, Graham, you can take plane shift, can you?
If we rest, I can learn that.
How many people can you
8.
take with you? 8.
8.
Does it bring
We'll
you
be
back?
holding hands.
Or do you need
But
2
8.
of them?
Need to cast it again.
Right. What level is it?
7th.
So how many have you got?
I can cast
7.
it twice, technically. I guess
Using an
once
8th?
at 7th and using an 8th level spell slot.
Okay. We could spend a night on the astral plane, though, I suppose.
hmm
Better learn it then.
Again, friend guy storyteller, you don't know where they're...
No, I know.
Yeah. I mean, they could be going to the 7th circle of Avernus, or whatever they're all called.
Well,
Or the plane of steam.
Well, I'm sure there's a low level spell I can swap out in order to have it available.
so what do we do?
Let's go to the rock thing. It's something we haven't done.
You think
Yeah.
it's safe to leave these druids to the other
Well,
guys?
Well,
Why don't
the
we-
druids are gone.
Why don't we commune and see if we can't narrow our
Yeah,
options
go on.
down?
Yeah, go on then.
Oh, excellent. Yes.
Let's have a quick
Spend
think
some
about
time
what we
picking
might.
questions.
Yeah, pick some questions.
Yes.
Maybe we
Please don't ask questions I don't know the answers to.
Mike, I called to the druids.
You call to the druids.
Mm-hmm.
What are you just shouting? Druids!
Yes,
Oh,
druids.
Druids!
Druid people. I have a question.
Okay. After a suitable interval, Telantras steps out,
I apologise for
seemingly out of nowhere from out of
flippancy
the trunk
earlier.
of a tree. What do you wish me to tell you?
We have a quandary. Did you anticipate 2 groups of adventurers trying to obtain these articles or to complete the task at the same time?
Every group, as defined in our minds, must complete the tasks completely.
But the rock has already been vanquished.
Why say you this?
Do each group have the
Or
same?
has it not? Is it? If we go there, will
It
it
is
still
the
be
living
alive?
feather.
Meaning,
You've got to take the feather off it while it's still alive, in which case there's more feathers.
It looks around. Where did this voice come from?
down here.
Scans. What nature of creature is this?
we call it an ant.
An ant.
I'm right though, aren't I?
Great mysteries indeed.
I'm
They
right.
infect
Am
this
I right?
world.
There are more than one feather. We have to take the feather off while it's alive. Am I correct?
No comment.
The other group got there first. That's why we surmised that that task
Other
has already
group?
been completed.
Ah!
Yes, there were.
You speak of Grethos.
Yes, Darl Quethos.
Does he have the same quest as we do?
We laid out the terms of the tasks of Tilagos in the same way as to you. They have not returned.
So,
But we've
So-
done We've done 3 of them. How can they do them?
how can they complete them? We've done 3 of the tasks.
This is a loophole that,
Right.
that I, a 2-dimensional NPC, cannot comment upon. 1 moment, it disappears. Comes back about a minute later. I have conferred with my confederates. The physical objects you must retrieve must be returned by... These are the new rules. The physical objects you must retrieve must be returned by the same and single group.
Right. So now
The
that
death of the Thornvale Nightmare and the silence of the Doom Shrouds, mournful, the Doom... Anyway, that one. Once they are done, I suppose. Yes, he looks a bit shifty. I hadn't thought of
since
it,
we
really.
have given you the belt
I think he's going to vanish in a puff of logic, this guy.
already, they cannot complete the task. Correct?
Correct. Darl Quethos and his group cannot complete the task. But you still can, were you to bring us the living feather of the rock.
Right.
Okay.
But if they were to give you the feather, and there's only 1 feather, neither group could complete the tasks.
It's a grey area. I can see. The only guidance I could give you, because
Yeah.
clearly
It's no bloody good, is it?
I think we've got to go for the rock.
Says Bugraft.
Nicholas Logue, when writing this adventure, did not consider this eventuality, even though its potential is written into the very heart of the story.
Right.
And I would say, in order to avoid further confusion, that if you were to bring us the living feather of the Rock King, then your group will have succeeded in their task.
Right.
The other group cannot succeed in the task because we now have the belt.
Okay. Do we have to get the feather off Darl Quethos, or can we go and kill the rock and vanquish the rock to get it?
Don't push it, Buggle Boy.
Let's just go to the rock.
All right. Why?
Because we haven't done it, and there's a chance that we can do it.
Okay.
Right. Well, he's going to disappear again.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't know why he made that noise. He didn't make that noise before. Maybe he just makes that noise himself, then he disappears.
That would be awesome if he just turned out and went.
Yeah, that's what he does. He turns away a little.
Yeah.
And
Just
then he
looks back over his shoulder to
and he
make sure that we're
vanishes.
not watching.
Yeah,
Goes,
and he vanishes. Right. That's enough jokes about the noise.
the noise. Yeah.
On we go. Where are you heading? Where do you believe this rock to dwell?
We'll go up into the mountains.
Yeah, by the mountains.
The Mega Mountains.
Should we heal up first?
Yeah.
Before we do that,
Yes. Oh, the commune spell.
Why don't we do the
You were
commune
doing
spell?
something.
Yeah. Go on, Greg. Sorry, I just thought that might answer the question.
so I mean, I guess we could
Yes,
ask,
we lost them directly.
is there any point in going to find
Yeah.
the Rock King, or does the Ifrit have the only living feather? That might be the better way of asking the question, I suppose.
Yes.
Let's do that first question, Mike.
Does the Ifrit have the only living feather?
Yes,
The Rock King.
of the Rock King, or whatever the...
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Arse. Surely the Ifrit's
What's your next question?
going to come back. They're going to come back here. Wait for them. Wait in ambush.
We could ask, should we wait here for them?
Yes, could do that.
Would it be quicker for us to wait for them?
Could you frame it in a slightly more definitive terms?
Would it be quicker? Would it be quicker? Or are they heading in this direction? You could ask if they're heading in this towards us.
Well,
Maybe the question to ask is this portal the only way off this plane? Because then they have to come this way.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And you could then, if the answer is yes, you've got another question, haven't you? You could then ask, are they heading towards us?
Thoughts, Dan? You don't sound convinced.
I just think it's a mechanism. The mechanism, we need to get the feather.
Yeah.
So I think the
okay.
question should be to try and find out the best way to get the feather. I think it's safe to assume that they're going to come here if we don't go anywhere else. The question is whether we want them
Can
to.
we give them a fake belt? I mean, they don't know what it looks like in exchange.
Unlikely, I would say.
I mean, can we manufacture a belt that
We're
looks
trying
like
to
it's
find the
valuable?
phylactery. Yeah? Is that the thing that we're actually trying to find?
you're trying
Are we?
to... The deal... Oh, Pinch's bridge of nose. The deal is that there is a fountain, it turns out. You don't know where this fountain may be located. That is a library of knowledge, the library of last resort. And within that library is the knowledge of the location, the hiding place of the phylactery of Dragotha, the Dracolich, who is Kios's great marshal lieutenant, head of, I don't know, military stuff. That's what was outlined to you by Telantros when you first arrived, when he was much more sure of himself and hadn't encountered the logical loops inherent in having two sets of people after the same thing.
Mm-hmm. The other thing is we can make an agreement with them to go through the portal together.
Well, I was wondering, if their end goal isn't the same as our end goal, then potentially we can both succeed.
Well, we can just both go through and then have a big fight on the other side.
I think their end goal is the same as our end goal.
Maybe we can ask that question.
Just so we're absolutely clear, you don't know that you're going through anywhere.
No.
You're looking for this resource called the Library of Last Resort that you can't currently access, but apparently you will be allowed to access it were you to complete the tasks.
Well, it doesn't really matter if it's a portal. It's just we can do whatever it is
Yeah.
together. You know,
Yeah, sure.
you don't
sure,
necessarily have to
Sure.
fight them and get the thing off them. We can just
Yeah.
agree.
Well, you've got two questions left. The Lady Luck Misfortune is sitting there just...
Twiddling her thumbs.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's do... Is this portal the only way off this plane?
No.
Okay, that's interesting.
Not sure where it gets us.
No, nor am I, but it means there is another way out. Or it might be through... Anyhow, the library thing might give us another way out.
Yeah, or I mean, demonstrably, Darl and the Ifrit have left this plane just
Yes.
within the last
True.
hour.
Okay.
We'll all woe to complete the quest together with Darl Quethos and reach the Library of Last Resort together.
Is that your question?
No, I'm just Graham's.
I thought not. So I'm just-
Could ask if their objective and our objective are mutually exclusive.
I think we asked, will they come here?
Okay, let's try that.
Or try and
Will they?
or try and figure out what plane they went to.
Yeah, but still.
I mean, they might change, but one would assume that they have a routine of sorts. Do you know what I mean? So when they bug out, they have a place that they go.
Bug out? Excuse me.
Buggy out. Standard terminology for being scared.
I don't need to hurry, but the third question.
The third question is...
Maybe we just.
don't ask the third question.
Don't have to.
No,
Not sure.
I don't really have
Kinda
any...
tempted
Why don't you ask me if they're on the
Yeah,
way
go on.
here? If you've got nothing really to ask if they're on the way here.
Sure, let's try that. Mike,
So frame it for me, please. Yes.
is Darl, Quethos and his companions on the way here to the portal where we are now?
No.
No,
Okay.
they'll need to heal up before they come after us again.
In which case, we should heal up.
Yeah. We do a long rest? I've only taken 2 hit points.
You've
It's
only
not about
taken
spells.
2 hit points.
Don't know how it's so low.
I've taken 10. But I could always do with getting some spells back.
Spells.
I don't think anybody took enormous amounts of damage in that last fight, did they?
No.
I sort
No.
of healed myself.
So,
Long rest? Might as well do a long rest. They're not on the way here.
on the plains,
Sure, if that's what
Yep.
everyone wants.
Yep,
No,
sleep
we'll head
under the
into the trees.
stars.
We'll head into the trees, mate.
oh, you head into the
Yeah.
trees. It's a dark and mysterious place, but you feel like that sense of menace that was there before is lifted. You can sleep in the tree line or deeper into the forest. Wait around till midnight. Take your 8 hours rest at midnight until 8 in the morning on the 28th of Fart. Make a note of that in my
There's a long rest button.
comprehensive journal.
Confirming.
Confirmed.
Right.
Confirmed.
Right, do a death ward spell.
Yep, first thing you do every morning.
Yeah.
Other people are brushing their teeth. Buggy does a death ward.
It's still apparently spring. You're woken by the tweet birds from the canopy. They awake as part of their bird-like daily arrangements, whatever it is that they do. Flying and, squeaking. Birds squeak, whatever it is they do. Sing.
Birds squeak.
And the sunlight dapples through the canopy above you.
Nice.
It's all very pleasant.
Yep.
If you emerge from the tree line, the great plain of central to Lagos lies out before you with giant sloths and the like herding about. The mountain tops glisten with snow in the distance. You can hear the buzzing of, pleasant bees and stuff. Spring flowers
Pleasant bees.
tickle.
as opposed
your
to
ankles.
unpleasant bees.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
So,
Make a note of that. So the date is 20. What? 20.
let's go and find what's his name.
Of fart.
Yes,
After
we
breakfast.
want to hang around waiting for them to come find us.
Set up watch.
How long for?
2 days? 5 days?
As long as it takes.
Seriously?
Well, how do we find them? I mean, we might as well wait for them.
Yep.
Set up a watch. Rotating shifts.
Another day passes. I presume you've got a bit of stock, the Sandwave, rations. You can always eat bits of Parker. There's quite a lot of him. Another day passes.
Yep.
We're on the third weekday, the 3rd of Apeshit. Now it is a thump day, the 4th of Apeshit. You've been waiting for 5 days.
Mike?
Well, 4 days. Yes.
Well, during this rest period, I'm going to cast each morning.
Yeah.
Temple of the Gods. It lasts 24 hours.
Oh, is this some super swanky spell?
Yeah.
What does it do?
It gives us a nice house.
Right, like Omaze.
We heal more effectively within it. They can't
Yeah,
get
so
in
we've
it.
basically just built a massive house outside the...
It only lasts a day, right?
It
But
lasts a day, yeah.
fine. It just vanishes, but then you recreate exactly the same one with the same layout, so nobody gets
Yeah,
confused
nobody
as to where
gets
the teacups
confused.
are and stuff. Fine. So you hang out in this mansion. 5 days in, nothing is happening.
Okay.
On the 6th day, I get bored of doing that.
Sunday, the 5th of Apeshit. Wow, we've never moved the calendar on this fast.
I'm going to sort of be outside practicing my martial moves and playing the lute.
Oh dear, I've got my earplugs out.
Yeah.
Your earplugs out.
In fact, I'm going to write a song about Buggy.
No, put them in. I mean, I'll take them out, put them in.
Scaly's going to be going absolutely...
Right,
He's
pardon?
tiny and he's small. He isn't very tall. Uncle Buggy.
This is the least you've
It's
done for the
just-
longest period of time. since we started like 4 years ago.
Scaly is
Because
going
you don't know what to do
absolutely
next.
insane
On
with
the
boredom.
first day of Buggy, my
is
true
not the
love
way he
gave
is.
to me.
I don't think we should burn up 6 days like that. And aren't we? Isn't there some clock ticking somewhere?
Quite possibly.
There's always a clock ticking somewhere.
Let's
John.
go to the mountains.
Let's go to the mountains.
You
Just
want to go
fight
to
a
the
rock.
mountains?
Yep, let's go to the mountains.
All right.
Scaly's just going to start heading off. He's bored beyond measure.
Well, he's
I'll
walking.
follow him.
Yep,
Brilliant. Okay.
he's just setting. He's lighting
So-
his cigar. He just stands up, and just starts heading off in a direction.
Fine.
Buggy will scuttle after him.
Well, we won't get too into the travel time because there's nothing more boring in D&D.
Can we
The-
roleplay each hex again, please?
Travel.
You can.
Yeah, absolutely. Each blade of grass.
I just want to kind of talk about my feelings, how I feel at this moment in time, what I think, and my relationship with the other characters.
It's like a journaling
It's an
game.
idea for a whole new podcast.
Yeah, let's pick this up somewhere else. We'll do a separate thread of the show where you and I micro play your journey.
Talk through his emotions and.
Will he really be there, though?
As a
childhood.
one-player journaling game, and we learn as much about what's in Scaly as what is outside Scaly.
But are you going to be there?
Sounds fun, doesn't it?
Are you going to be there?
I will, for all intents and purposes, it will be as if I was there. Yeah.
Will you?
Right, on we move. You get closer and closer to the mountains until you get to the mountains. That's how you do travel in D&D.
Yeah.
You're looking at them, the two of you. Did the other three come with you?
Don't know.
Yes.
I
But,
suppose if
at
we
a
have
distance.
From a
At a
distance.
distance.
follow
We'll be
behind.
chatting just far enough away so they can't hear what we're saying.
Are you going to be talking about your feelings?
Right.
No, but we're probably talking about you.
Yeah.
But you can't quite tell because it's just out of earshot.
At a certain point, you
Can't
catch
hear it
up
anyway,
to
I've got my
Scaly
earplugs
and
in.
Buggy as they stand at the foot of the great mountains. So you can wibble your way through these little foothills. You can kind of climb around bits of stuff and snow and up some mountain passes, and you're at the base, as it were, of this great central massive peak.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think,
My, that's a big one.
yes, it's thousands and thousands of feet tall. We're talking
We're talking massive.
I don't know we are actually talking Everest. I did a bit of maths. I can't remember where I made my note, but it
Done some
is
maths.
tall. Hold up. My note will be here.
It is tall.
It was in terms of D&D kind of terms.
Big.
In terms of D&D terms, what on earth are you talking about, Mike?
This is going well.
It's tall anyway.
Excellent.
I think it's a couple of miles high.
Okay.
One thing that you have established, or rather Sessions has established, is that on the sweepstakes, Sessions could only ascend a mile into the atmosphere
Mm.
before his flight sort of, as it were, ceilinged out.
Yeah.
Right.
Sessions could fly up about
We're
a
gonna have
mile
to-
and then he stopped being able to get any higher.
We're going to play survival role.
What do you want to do? Do you want to, I mean,
Start
again,
heading up.
you flying
I can't. I'm walking.
or are you climbing?
Climbing.
Okay, Scaly starts climbing. It's not particularly challenging, at least not at the moment. Everybody else climbing?
We're keeping an eye out for
Yeah,
the others.
Darl Quethos.
Darl
Darl
Quethos.
Quethos.
I will cast a fly spell. Why not? And then I will carry.
Yes.
I'll do the fly spell on Paul.
Scaly doesn't quite have the
Yes.
same, because that previous strength was because of a potion, which he.
What
obviously
is your
had.
strength?
Now it's.
One.
Can't remember. I'll have to look it up.
I'll do it on me then.
Let's not get into the weeds of this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do it on me.
Nobody interrupts you. Nobody threatens you. It's fine. You can take as long as you want, as many attempts as you like.
Yeah.
You can switch around and try the spell on different people and try different configurations. Ultimately, you settle on a way of flying up that first mile at least.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And finding a point about a mile up, you realise that your flight is reaching its ceiling for some reason.
Yeah.
You can kind of see, you know that, who's the idiot with the beard with the boats? Richard Branson. You know the thing that he's got, the thing with the Virgin where you go up to the edge of space is really where I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You can kind of see the edge of the atmosphere. Above you, it's got stars and you've still got atmosphere and it's dark. Well, it's a bit like that. So it's weird. You kind of get a mile up. You can see another mile of mountain rearing up above you. But it almost feels like you're reaching the edge of the sort of magic shell of atmosphere of the island.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get that high up, you notice something, and that is that eagles and the like, I don't know, what are mountainy birds? Anyway, birds are flying above you.
Oh,
Right.
so things can fly up.
Just not magically things.
Things that fly under their own propulsion
Mm-hmm.
are flying about. But your magical suspendo flight seems to have reached a natural stop.
Very annoying having
Just
to
take-
walk.
Yeah. So 5 minutes
There's
ago.
an anti-magic shell.
Okay, well, we'll walk the remaining bit.
I just wonder if your ability to fly stops. Does your ability to teleport start?
Unlikely. You can try it.
I mean, I've got a misty step I could try, but
Yeah. I've got a teleport I could try. It's more likely that it's there as a sort of preventative measure rather than suddenly
Probably
you're-
to make sure that the rocks are more powerful.
Yeah.
yeah, feels like we're kind of at the edge of a computer game when you can't go any further in a direction.
Yeah.
Right, well, we'll keep going.
Yeah.
You can start an ascent. The air does get noticeably thinner.
What are we trying to achieve? You know, we're following Paul. Paul had a plan.
No, Paul was just like fed up
Just
with.
curious.
We'd waited 6 days, nothing was happening. So it was like, right, let's go in a direction we haven't gone yet, see what happens.
We don't need to get into the micro mechanics of it. There are rules around exhaustion and whatever, but I don't think they're particularly interesting. And I think we can assume that you're going to be careful.
Yeah.
You've got healing,
Yeah.
Yes.
so it's not like you're going to be in any jeopardy. And I think this is where, interestingly, games like this slightly, they don't come apart. But I don't know that there's much entertainment for any of us, irrespective of the fact that we've got 4 people listening
Yeah.
in kind of playing through all of that. So you can climb, and it takes you a while, and it's arduous, and you have to rest up. Rest of your magic seems to work. You can cast your what's it called?
Temple of the Gods.
Right. I mean, I guess on the side of the
Nice.
thing, like a kind of Tibetan monastery. And after how long does it take to climb a mile? I'm guessing a few days.
Mm-hmm.
And after many false summits, you've got to have false summits in every climb, otherwise it's boring.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's already boring, but even more boring. I can put you on a new map as you gently breast the peak of this mountain.
Oh,
It's very bright.
I'm going to put your minis in the
Oh my God,
south
that's an enormous
eastern corner
it's huge bird.
of the map.
bloody
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. One thing at a time. You kind of reach the edge of an escarpment and you find yourself trudging over a clear snowfield at the flattened out summit of this peak. You feel like you're up right at the edge of the atmosphere. You can see a mile below you the clear delineation between, as it were, the oxygened world and the world that you're in. The air is thin. You're probably at disadvantage with most seriously exertive activities.
Mm-hmm.
And rearing up above you, or rather looming above you, on a kind of cairn of exposed stones and outcrops of granite, is an enormous nest. I have to admit, I've used a chicken nest from the map library and made it enormous. And then I've used an eagle mini. Draped across this giant nest is the corpse of an enormous bird. The wingspan is 50 feet, maybe more. It's slumped across, limp. The wings are drooping down on either side of the nest. The head is drooping down. The wind is keening around you. Snow flurries are dancing around your feet. What would you like to do?
Yeah, over to you. You brought us here.
Does anybody have a resurrection type spell?
Well, it's humanoid, isn't it? I got raised. Probably got raised dead.
I've got Revivify, but it's only something that's died within the last minute, and I think we're well beyond that. I'm going to go up and search the nest.
I'll do a detect magic.
Give me a survival check. Give me a perception check.
11.
17.
Okay, you can see that this area has definitely been disturbed. Give me a survival check.
Survival.
Ooh,
13.
19. Natural 20.
Between the two of you, you can piece together a narrative. Something has been here before, disturbed the nest. You don't know if it's responsible for the death of what you presume must be the Rock King, but it doesn't look like there's been a particularly extended or protracted struggle. There's no sign of a combat. There's no blood. Things are not broken or disturbed in that way.
Doesn't look like its
You don't
heart's
know whether-
being pulled out.
Well, you can't see that bit of it, but I mean, conceivably.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think you might have a scroll of resurrection. I'm not sure.
I
Sorry, I'm
can
just sort of popped
refocus
into my
to it.
head. Oh, okay, right.
And the
If
detect
we
magic, does that...
There's nothing magical around, apart from yourselves.
Okay.
Refocus, resurrect it.
Why?
Really?
Well,
Costs
then we've got
1,000
living-
gold pieces.
Then we've got a living rock. We can take a feather of the living
No, it's
feather.
the living feather. It's not
Yeah.
a living rock, it's the living feather, which
Ah.
they've got.
So resurrecting is going to do absolutely nothing whatsoever.
We don't know that.
About regeneration.
It looks like, Sessions, that your commune gave you the right answer, because this thing is dead. So surely they have the only living feather of the Rock King.
Okay, so let's commune, Mike. Mike, going to commune again. The first question would be, if we resurrect the Rock King, will it have the living feather?
With a slightly weird tone of voice. Yes.
So potentially it would reset the...
Yeah. Okay.
Resurrect is for humanoids, isn't it?
No, it's a creature.
Can you do it?
If I refocus to it, of course I can do it.
It's not an altar boy, Johnny. It's a
I'm
proper
the-
cleric.
I'm a
Yeah.
proper cleric. Proper...
Grown-up cleric.
Yeah.
Yeah, proper one.
So how much do you
Yeah.
charge for resurrection in case, does my insurance policy cover the resurrection?
It costs 1,000 gold pieces.
Didn't I deposit 1,000 gold pieces with you?
You did the raised dead 500 gold pieces, I believe.
Right, can I upgrade? Can I upgrade to the 500?
Of course you can upgrade to the 1,000 GP gem.
Check on the website
See how
at
much money I've got.
sessions.com/upgrade. See your options.
Oh, I've got enough money. I'm going to give you another 500 gold pieces. Could you write it on your character sheet, please?
This is the stuff we need to get into now, I feel.
Yeah. I actually have it on my character
Having
sheet.
climbed a
500 gold
mile
piece
Up
diamond
the
from
sheer
Bucky.
face of Mount Fuck Off.
Right, well, I'm upgrading it by another 500.
Do you have a
so
500
I
gold
want-
piece diamond?
Right at the point
Does it have to be
where
a
Sessions
gem?
has cast the commune spell and is trying to think of his second question.
Does it matter? Can I give you 500
Wait a
gold
moment.
pieces?
I don't know.
Leave it for you to get the gem?
Well, I already have a selection of gems for this very purpose.
Okay, well, I'm giving you another. I'm taking it off my character sheet. Another 500 gold pieces. It's yours.
Let's get this all squared away before we go back to the commune spell.
Nobody else wants the insurance policy?
Maybe not like right now. Maybe we should something that
Yeah.
we could.
Not right now.
Well, you can take it out when you're dead.
What do you do? Once you've sorted out the admin,
I
of
can
buggies.
go and grab a feather, and when you resurrect him, I'll pull it out and we can head off.
So we're going to use your 1,000 gold piece gem to resurrect him.
Oh,
No. I didn't read the small print today.
Well,
I-
thanks,
Thanks,
Johnny.
Johnny, that was kind of you.
No. So I've got my hands grasped round one of the feathers. All you need to do now, Graham, is with your own money, resurrect him.
With my money.
All you got to do is, with your own money,
I need 250 gold pieces from you, Johnny.
Why?
That's a quarter of the resurrection.
There's 5 of us.
well, it's a fifth. It's 200.
Well, there are only 4 of us present at the moment.
Yeah, well, I think somebody can speak for Parker.
Yeah, okay, 200.
Parker, if it is the real Parker.
All right. Anybody
I'm
else?
crossing off 200.
Cross off 200.
Okay,
Okay.
excellent. I'll cross off
So,
200. And shall we head back now? 800
Yeah,
wealthier.
Got to go and buy that +3 chain.
what's the plan? Buggy
we'll
stand.
refocus the
grabs
spell.
a feather, but doesn't remove it.
Yeah.
Just thinking back to the feather that we saw, Mike, is it obvious where the
Yes.
feather came from? Is it like a tail feather or a head feather?
Oh, it's not. It's not relevant.
Any
Take
feather.
your tail feather.
Tail feather. Tail feather.
Tail feather.
There you
Okay,
go. Now we've got an episode name.
so we have to rest
Mhm.
so we can refocus.
Well, you can rest in your palace of what's it.
Yeah.
Right.
We do that.
Okay.
It's nice
Rest
and
in
warm
the
in
palace
there.
of what's it?
Then the next day,
bright and early.
Bright and early, we get up and we use Buggy's gem to resurrect the...
And at the very moment that you do so, Buggy pulls the feather out when it revives.
Yeah, then how are we going to get away quickly?
Maybe we just have to ask it to donate the feather to us, now that we brought it back to life.
Yeah, we can try
It's
negotiating
an
with
option.
it first.
What do you want to do?
Completely agree with that one. Don't need to kill it.
Can we do plane shift straight afterwards?
Well, we probably could, actually.
You can plane shift to the same plane, right?
No, I think you do have to change planes.
Oh, do you? Well, in that case, that's not going to happen.
Oh, maybe we should summon the air elemental to fly us down. Or create a big
I
hot
could
air
just-
balloon.
Could do invisibility
True.
or wall of force.
Do we have Speak with Dead?
I don't. I have a limited selection of spells.
As appropriate for a bard.
Yeah, why don't we memorize Speak with Dead? We could then at least ask it if we resurrect it, will it give us the feather?
Okay. Is that what you're going to do?
How wise do you think a rock is?
It's the Rock King, it must be fairly wise. He'd rather be alive than dead, I would have thought.
I'm just thinking I could do dominate monster.
Oh, you probably could.
Fly down on it.
Oh, I've got Speak with Dead. I just need to prepare it.
In that case, Graham can prepare resurrection, and you can prepare speak with dead. You can do the whole thing on the same day.
Yeah.
So now it is Moon Day, the 8th of Apeshit.
So can I speak? Am I going to be able to speak its language? Has it been dead for more than 10 days?
Has it been dead for more than 10 days? 5 days you spent waiting around, didn't you?
Hmm.
3 days getting to here. That's 8 days. I'm going to roll a d6 because I'm not sure. On a 1 to 3, it's been more than 10 days. On a 4 to 6, it's 10 days or fewer.
Oh,
It's been more than 10 days, I'm afraid, since it died, so Speak with Dead will not work. Sorry.
So, dominate monster? It's not really going to work, is it?
We could tie its beak together. We could be really horrible and chop its claws off and things like that, and then resurrect it.
I think if you resurrect something that's all that stuff has been done, it comes back fine.
Can you raise it instead of resurrecting it so it's only on 1 hit point?
Ooh, that's a bloody good idea.
No, can't have been dead for more than 10 days. Well, we've already established it's dead for more than 10 days. Good idea.
What about
just.
reincarnating? It's a badger.
Do I need to draw you a picture?
Yeah.
I don't have reincarnate. Anyhow, let's try resurrection. Should we do that?
Okay.
Given that.
Yes, just tell me how you're going about your feather retrieval and exfiltration plan, and we will see whether or not we even need to roll the dice.
Okay, what we'll do...
We don't have
Mike?
to be visible.
No, I know. I was
But
wondering
you'll
if we
become
just
visible
tie...
when you cast resurrection.
But we tie something around its eyes, over its eyes.
Yeah.
Or blind it.
I
Resurrecting
think
it.
tie its beak.
But you could put a hood
Yeah,
on it. You could put a hood on it. Like, they
Yeah.
do with the
Okay.
hawks.
Yeah. Needs to be about 40 foot long, but yes.
Shove its head down the portable hole.
That works. That works.
Well,
I'm not saying it's going to
hole?
work, but I'm saying that that might work.
There's loads of branches and stuff. We could just basically shove them over its eyes. So it takes a round for it to kind of work out where it is. What about your smoky thing there, Buggy?
I could do a fog cloud, yeah.
Yeah, fog cloud over its head. Then we
Mm-hmm.
resurrect it, grab the feather.
Mm-hmm.
You do the fog
While it
cloud
can't
at the
see,
end
we
of
do
the
an
1 hour ritual it takes me to cast the spell.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then we've still got to get down the mountain. I mean, that's going to take ages, isn't it?
That was a bullet dodged.
Then we do invisibility.
You set up the entire plan, and it's like, go! And Sessions begins his 1 hour ritual.
Gets out the book and starts reading.
Yeah. The end of the hour, I presume Sessions can raise a significant eyebrow in Buggy's direction.
I'll let him know the last paragraph of the ritual.
Well, he's only the altar boy. You don't want to tell him the
Yeah.
whole thing, but you can let him
No.
know the last bit.
Give him the thumbs up when we're getting to the end. You could try
And
your
then you're gonna
dominate monster at the end, Dan, because it has to make saves at -4.
Why?
Because that's the ordeal of coming back from the dead. You take a -4
Right.
penalty on all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks
Okay.
for 3 days.
For 3 days. So it's effectively a DC 21. But it's a rock king, right? So it's going to have legendary actions.
Is it a concentration spell?
Dominate
What?
monster? Yeah, I think it might be. And it lasts an hour. If it's dominated, then we all climb on its back and fly down on it.
That's really clever.
Yeah.
I love it. It comes down to a single saving throw then.
Potentially.
We need a plan B.
Yeah, so run away.
I can just imagine us all pegging it down the mountain with this thing chasing after
But
us.
that's the insurance policy, is the smoke. So it can't see us.
It's got 200 feet, I think it's diameter.
It hasn't got 200 feet, Johnny. It would never get off the ground.
It's not a centipede.
Lucas would be really
Yeah.
jealous. He's only got 8.
He's only got 8 that we know of, Paul.
Ah. Okay.
Can you do banishment?
No.
Yes.
That might also work.
I will do.
Well,
I will
Dan,
do a.
what about if, as soon as we've done it, you just put a hemispherical wall of force above us,
Yeah, I can do that.
and then we
But
could.
it doesn't
decide
get us
how to
out of there.
No, but we could perhaps negotiate with it, or
I could do a.
Well, if I had a readied dominate and the dominate fails, then we have initiative, right?
I could ready an action.
And then
to
I could
banish
do
it.
the wall of force if we win if I go faster than it.
polymorph would work as well. If you could polymorph it in something small, we could just stick it in the bag of holding.
But I reckon it's going to have legendary saving throws.
Oh, possibly.
I could ready to
Maybe
banish
someone
it.
should address it. Thank you. We brought you back to life. We're having this feather, if you don't mind.
Yeah, Scaly's got +8
And
on
we promised to
persuasion.
vanquish the people that killed you. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're going to do that anyhow, aren't we?
Somebody give me a straight intelligence check,
That won't be me.
as opposed to a wonky intelligence.
It can't speak common, I reckon.
You might as well have a go, Scaly.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Yeah. That is
I had a go,
Awesome.
Dan.
We have a 1
Also,
and a 0.
I'm going to have a go. I'm going to have a go.
Extraordinarily poor roll. Oh, that's a little
12.
better.
Oh, no.
-1.
16.
That's plenty. It's an animal.
It's an animal.
It's an animal.
It's not a monster.
Your understanding of rocks is not that they are anything other than just giant birds. Raptors. They can't speak. It doesn't have intelligence in that respect. Maybe quite an intelligent animal, but it's an animal.
Then I can banish it.
I've got to speak with animals.
And Buggy's got to speak with animals.
I can still try to dominate it.
Of course, what I'm saying is that the idea you would have a conversation with it, saying,
Yeah.
hey, welcome, Rock, we've
Yeah,
brought
yeah.
you back to life. Hasn't got a clue.
But if it's just an animal, it's not going to have great saving throws, is it?
Why not?
No, it'll be based on its huge hit dice.
Ah.
We try the dominate monster. If that fails, we try the banishment. If that fails, we have initiative. I
And
think
if that fails, we're screwed.
well, yeah.
Well, yeah, but there's an awful lot.
You're saying that
of,
we can't survive a round from the rock.
I think what we're doing here is getting Mike to a point of despair.
I'm happy to proceed with that
I'm
course of
fine.
action.
I've been getting on with
Yeah,
other
okay, let's go for it then.
Doing
No,
that
hang
tax
on, hang on.
return.
That's a
I
bit
may have
risky.
an idea. I may have an
God.
idea.
If you're
I
doing
can
a
always
tax
do
return,
nil
it's a
to
little bit late.
stone. Things go bad.
And next year's tax return.
I'm just checking it, and maybe I don't have it.
Normally
That's a
good
great
to have
In
idea.
it.
that case,
Uh,
that's a good idea to have.
Really good
I've
idea.
got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have what?
Dan, do you have it?
No, I don't have it.
Johnny, do you have it?
I lost it.
Might
Where
do.
I don't know where it
I
went.
have a bit of it.
But you only have a bit of everything.
what about this? Just a thought.
Oh, here
We
go.
cast
A new
stone
plan.
shape, yeah? And we lock its
Yeah.
feet into the ground
So cruel.
Yeah.
so it can't chase us.
Yeah, but if I dominate it, we can't fly down on it then,
But
unless we
if
do
it
another
can't
stone
chase us,
shape.
it's...
Well, you can dispel this.
But we could do the
Okay.
stone shape before we resurrect it, that's the point. We can sort of pin it down so it can't get up.
I mean, Chris Packham wouldn't be happy, but
All right.
You'd still need to do another one to free it,
Why do we need to free it?
to fly down on it.
We could just run down the hill if it can't move its feet.
Yeah.
If it can't get up, we just run away.
so you resurrect it, steal its feather, and then condemn it to death by starvation.
Well, it's no worse off than it was before. It is a bit mean, isn't it?
I'm tying a rope around its beak.
I don't think we need the stone
You
shape.
think not?
No, I don't think so.
We've had enough deliberation. Uncle Buggy is holding onto a feather, waiting to pull it. Pull it, you get it? Sessions is resurrecting the creature.
Mm-hmm.
Are your miniatures on our map correctly depicting
Representative.
where you would like to be at the decision point?
No.
No.
1 minute.
Okay, well, let's get that sorted as well. So you can move yourselves. Move yourselves. Yes.
Is
suddenly
it in the
everybody-
squares it's actually in?
Yeah.
Okay.
All set?
No.
Nearly. There you go. Some rocks. Hiding behind some rocks.
Burple and Scalia in front of the corpse of this creature, looking up at it on its nest, hiding behind some boulders. Sessions, Parker, and Buggy are at the fan of tail feathers of this creature, We get to the end of the hour of the resurrection ritual. The creature is alive. Uncle Buggy, you pull the feather from the tail,
Yep.
and then
I'm going to try the dominate.
what's the DC of the saving throw?
Well, including the -4, it's 21.
Okay.
Wisdom save. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Rolls a 19.
Fuck's sake.
It rolls a 19. But it's the blue dice of power, as Paul correctly identified. That's always the problem. Is it a wisdom save?
Yeah.
DC 21?
Yeah.
It fails.
Oh,
What? Brilliant.
It fails. It's got a wisdom save of +0. It's an animal.
Yes.
It's a very big
excellent.
animal. You are worrying about nothing.
Okay.
And have been doing so
For an hour.
for about an hour and a quarter. Readers, this will probably edit down. In fact, you're probably listening to this. This is just zoomed along. And anyway, whatever. Whatever. I've been sitting here. I've had the same experiences you have, readers. And so, sitting here
painful, agonising.
One upside to
4
this.
hours. Now, basically, the problem here is the living feather of the Rock King. I
Yeah.
have to play the adventure as it's written. It's
Yeah.
the most, at best ambiguous, at worst misleading thing. It's dominated. Therefore, Burps, using your telepathic link with it, you
Yeah.
can ask it to fly you back, like Gwaihir Windlord, to the portal
Yes.
in the eaves of the Doomshroud Forest.
Yeah. I call Telanthros. Telanthros comes out.
Yeah.
While we're on its back, it's still like, okay, which feather do you want?
Yeah. Well, I think you got one. You
Will
see him
this do?
start to emerge from a tree and it's got his back to you. And you hear, you have returned. Have you brought us the living? Oh! All of them. This is an unexpected development. The others emerge. Hold up, let me look up the accents. Shit, I've forgotten them. I've got a note.
That's very organised, Mike, having a note of which accents. I can never remember.
Okay, this Telanthros is described as Sir Lawrence Olivier Richard III. Bescoir is described as old posh. Bescoir emerges. He says, "Oh, the whole creature has been brought to us." Vladimir, marked as Yorkshire. "Oh, you brought the whole bloody bird down here." Siren Lay, high-pitched sort of goons, it says here. Says,
You have finally brought me the living feather of the Rock King. Part me a feather from the giant bird upon which you sit astride, and you will have completed the fourth Isle of Tailagos.
Okay.
Do it.
then what happens is, give me a moment.
We go up
Stuff
a level.
happens.
Surely.
No, don't be ridiculous. Telanthros regards you. He seems to grow in stature and power. He gestures at the portal of storms. That is the disc that you travelled through using your magical gems. Do you remember that bit, the crystals? The platform shimmers and transforms into an obsidian fountain. Its waters cool and sparkling with a rainbow of scintillating light.
Okay.
As it manifests, you all experience a nearly overwhelming rush of nostalgia for things that you have cherished in your childhood and a strange, gnawing fear of long forgotten nightmares. And as you gaze at the fountain, Telanthros speaks one final time. And so, you have earned the right to return the law of the Order of Storms to the world. The age of worms is upon us, and what the powers of old began so long ago now falls to you to complete. Drink deep and remember, dream the dreams of the ages. And he gestures you towards this fountain to have a bit of a drink. Do you want to have a bit of a drink from the fountain?
Yep.
The DM says in an encouraging way.
Yep.
Sure.
Scaly strides forward, puts his snout in, has a slurp.
As soon as you do so, you all become overwhelmed by the sudden rush of alien, yet strangely familiar memories. The world around you swirls away into a vortex of lightning and wind, fire and rain, ending in the utter darkness of nothingness.
Cheery.
Buggy, you see Lugpod, his mouth open in a scream you cannot hear, standing on an altar in a dark cave as a host of writhing green worms swarm up, over, and into him. Burple, you see your mother. She sits in the shadow cast by a figure standing behind you. Her face is pale and drawn in despair. She reaches a shaking hand for a cup on the table before her. Her eyes meet yours for the final time. Sessions. You ghost. You glide through tight tunnels, ribbed in living oak, following a small figure that casts twin beams of light before you. As you enter a large chamber, the figure turns. Just have time to recognize yourself before you are dazzled by fog lamp eyes. Scaly, you see Hillary, now wearing the raiment of a chief, address a great gathering of the marsh tribes, lizard folk, bullywugs, Wan Ti, and dragonkin make up the throng. Most of the lizard folk are wearing red trousers, those quilted gilets. Parker, from across the moonlit cloister of the Twilight Monastery, you see yourself, if it really is yourself, standing at the censer of symmetry, poised to steal a forbidden glimpse into its depths. And you see something else. Observing the scene, almost imperceptible in the shadows, is a black cat. As these visions fade, the darkness returns, and then slowly, like you are surfacing from a great depth, there is a rush of sound and light. You are returning to the world again, but it is not the one you left. Where are you? When are you? Well, we're going to find out where the Fountain of Dreams has sent you. We pick things up next week.
Nice. God.
Nice.
The Billowing Hilltop podcast is a Billowing Hilltop production. Dungeons & Dragons is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. The Library of Last Resort and Age of Worms are copyright Paizo. The Library of Last Resort was written by Nicholas Logue. Music is from Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com and is used with thanks under the Creative Commons license. Additional music and sound effects come from the wonderful Sirenscape. All other original material is copyright Billowing Hilltop. Role-playing games are all about getting people together, and we use Roll20 as our tabletop, the perfect place to host your game, and Discord to host our chat. Thanks for listening!
Are you looking for a D&D podcast with a dark side? Something more like Game of Thrones and less like Monty Python? Tale of the Manticore is part dark fantasy audio drama, part solo D&D RPG. There's no plot armor here. The dice make all the important decisions. Join me as I resurrect the excitement, wonder, and emotion of old school D&D. Made for a mature audience, Tale of the Manticore is both a fiction and a game. It's the story where chaos rolls.